Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, May 14th, 2013. This is your Island Blader speaking. Here's what's happening. Well, it's been some fun and exciting hockey. That's why you gotta love the hockey playoffs. First, covering the two local teams here. The Islanders did see their season come to an end last Saturday night in Game 6. Pittsburgh, unfortunately, took the series. Painful to see that. It was expected, but at the same time, the Islanders have nothing to be ashamed about because for the two games that the Islanders lost here on Long Island, they probably deserve to win. I mean, they outplayed the Pittsburgh Penguins in so many ways. The Penguins were fortunate to win Game 3, and the Penguins were fortunate to win Game 6. Let's face it. Even Penguins fans admitted, geez, the Islanders, my goodness. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that had the series gone to 7 games that, that the Islanders would have won Game 7. I'm not saying that at all. Far from it. Dan Bilesma made the smart move of changing Marc-Andre Fleury with Tomas Vokoun. Vokoun shined there in Game 5, even as the Islanders were pouring it on there in that first period. And then in Game 6, he stole the show. Because God forbid, if Marc-Andre Fleury were goaltending, I don't think the Pens would have made it out okay. So unfortunately, that was the smart move that they made as they move on to play the Ottawa Senators starting tonight in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Like I said, the Islanders have nothing to be ashamed about. They played hard. They know that they could take anybody. And for the future, a lot of people are saying the Islanders are, a team that a force to be reckoned with, and that the rebuilding has proved, it has come in full effect, that it's really has paid dividends. And it's too bad because the Islanders really, really deserved a better fate. You look at all the games that they let get away. A few more points here and there, they probably wouldn't have had to deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, look what happened to the Montreal Canadiens, the second seed. Trashed in 5 games. No problem by the Ottawa Senators. And the Islanders had a decent season against the Canadiens. I would have felt like the Islanders could have beaten the Canadiens, and they showed that they probably could have beaten the Pittsburgh Penguins too. But it's a bummer. But I really believe that professional hockey has come back to Nassau Coliseum. And, for the last year or two that they have over there, maybe, we could see something here. Because Tavares and Molson and the rest of them, they just need a better goaltender. Because goaltending is honestly what lost the series with Nabokov. He's been to the playoffs plenty of times when he was in San Jose and just, please. The Sharks have always been a bridesmaid, never the bride when it comes to the playoffs. But, trying to get to the finals and whatever. But, the Island is going to be back. You watch. Now, the boys of Madison Square Garden, the Rangers, 7 games, a grueling 7-game series, and after losing Game 5 in overtime on Friday night last week, you're thinking, oh man, this is it, it's over, it's another deflating loss, but they took a hard fighting 1-0 win on Sunday afternoon. Henrik Lundqvist is the story of these last 2 games. Not 1 shutout, but 2 shutouts. And, he was a brick wall. He was unbelievable. He's the reason why the Rangers are still playing hockey. And, and the unexpected happened last night in D.C. 5-0 shutout of the Washington Capitals on their ice. Unbelievable. And the goals were coming from unlikely sources. This wasn't Rick Nash and Derek Stepan, and Ryan Callahan did have a goal there when the game was already out of reach. But you had Aaron Asham, Derek Dorsett, and Zuccarello came through. Unlikely sources scoring these goals, and the whole team stepped up. It was a huge effort. 5-0. Alexander Ovechkin was all over the ice. Maybe he would have been, but he was shut down suckers. Ryan McDonough gave him nothing. After Ovechkin slammed McDonough into the boards for what was probably a questionable hit, McDonough, thinking, oh my goodness, and McDonough was right down next shift and, shutting Ovechkin down, So, give the Rangers props for that as they get ready because the Rangers are... Yep, the Rangers are indeed getting ready for the Boston Bruins next round. And for all my friends up there in the Boston area, it is on! Yes! And, this is the second time in a few weeks we've had a New York versus Boston series. Um, we had the Knicks and the Celtics a few weeks ago. Knicks winning it in 6 games, and now we have the hockey version of Madison Square Garden versus the TD Garden, and it should be, I think, a real exciting series. Both teams play very similar. Boston's got their guns there. Tuukka Rask, who's done a decent job, who actually has done an excellent job in place of Tim Thomas. I believe the Boston Bruins allowed the fewest goals in the league, if not the second fewest. But they are something, that team up there. You got big Zdeno Chara, you got big Milan Lucic there playing left wing. You got Marchand, you got Tyler Seguin. So, go on down the list. It's going to be a very fun series. Don't be surprised if it's another long series here. And the guys that we brought in are the Rangers. I mean, Brassard and all these, and Ryan Clough and all these other guys. Trading Gaborik has paid really big dividends for this Rangers team. And but I will say this, for a while last night, it looked like the Rangers were bound for Toronto. And, this is for my cousin up in the Toronto area. I feel so bad for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I usually, for a team that, hadn't been to the playoffs in 9 years, for a team that came back from 3-1 down, looking like it was over in Game 5, they're leading by 3 goals with 10 minutes to go. And leading by 2 with 90 seconds left. The goaltender's pulled. It's like, just get a few clears and the game's over. 2 goals allowed with the goaltender pulled. Tuukka Rask being pulled from the net. And then they won the game in overtime. I mean, wow. Oh my God. It must really suck to be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan today. That hurts big time. So, instead of Toronto, it's Boston. Can't wait. We've seen playoff matchups in all 4 major sports between New York and Boston. Knicks, Celtics. We can see the Rangers and Bruins for the first time in my life. Yes. The Jets and the Patriots, and also the Yankees versus the Red Sox. But like I said, in my lifetime, this is the first time I've seen the Rangers playing the Bruins in the playoffs. Everything else has happened. So, but it should be fun. The Rangers and the Bruins start Thursday night, 7:30 game up at the TD Garden. Game 2 is Sunday, and then the 3 and 4 come back to MSG Tuesday and Thursday. And then I believe it's every other day. 25th would be Game 5 in Boston, 27th at MSG, 29th in Boston, if there's a Game 7 scenario. But don't be surprised, it might be a long series. It might just be a long series. Rangers and Bruins. I mean, it's one of 2 original 6 rivalries going on. You've got the Red Wings and the Blackhawks in the Western Conference that's going on. The Red Wings stunning the Anaheim Ducks out of the playoffs, which is like, and what was alternating games, and all of a sudden Detroit takes it. Game 7 out in Anaheim for a team that cruised to the Pacific Division. But it should be fun, so it's all up to the Rangers now. And the Knicks too, to keep the the exciting spring of New York that's going on. Because right now, even though the Yankees are playing well, I ain't getting any love from the boys of Queens, and what a disgrace they are. But anyway, they're irrelevant. And I don't know how many rants I'm going to say about the Mets right now, or from this point going forward. I mean, it's May 14th, but please, give me a break. And the Rick Ankiel, please, stop it. I'm just going to right there about baseball. With that said, this is your Island Blader speaking. Let's go Rangers! All right, deucing for now.